This video is sponsored by Cohen Financial. More on them later.
Did you know this is the biggest development opportunity in Beverly Hills? $65 million. You got over 2.5 acres of promontory views from downtown LA, Century City to the ocean. And there's still 3 things that I don't like about this property. Now, before I tell you the 3 things I don't like about the property, let me tell you 3 things I absolutely adore about this property. But how do I know this stuff? I'm 𝐷𝐼𝐿𝐷. I'm a real estate agent based in Beverly Hills by day. I'm a consultant by night. You can reach out to me directly anywhere around the world. I can help you hire a real estate agent. I can overlook their work, make sure they're doing a good job, and be that third-party consultant to your transaction. The link is in my bio or in the description below. Now, number 3, I absolutely love this design. Look, it's very rare to get this grandness with the earthy elements all together. And it also looks unique, right? It's not a copycat of another design. I love that. I think it fits the land really well. Lot utilization looks very solid. And I think it's a good design for this location, right? Now, the second thing I absolutely love about this house is the land itself. 2.5 acres, promontory. You get views from downtown LA, Century City, and the ocean. It's far, but it's still, you get a little, glimpse of water over there, which I absolutely appreciate. Now, the number 1 thing I absolutely love about this property, and before I tell you that, if you don't like or subscribe, the algorithm is just not going to show my videos to you, so you know, okay? The number 1 thing I love about this property is the fact that it's in Beverly Hills, north of Sunset, end of a cul-de-sac, on a beautiful road, North Alpine, 1000 block, end of it. It's just really, really good. I mean, it nails it. This is a prime location in Los Angeles. It doesn't really get much better than this, right? Now, before I tell you 3 things I don't like about this property and get all negative, I want to tell you about someone I love to work with, Mark Cohen. I use Mark Cohen for my own loans, and I always recommend them for all my clients to get their loans from him. Why? Because he's creative and he knows how to get loans in difficult times. He understands the challenges of today with high rates. Not just he offers great rates, but also he gets tough jobs done, and that's why I love working with him. Here's his phone number. Give him a call and tell him Arvin sent you. Now, 3 things I don't like about this property. Number 3, look, it's a huge land, but the dimensions are just a little bit off. Look, it matters a lot less on these bigger dimensions, I have to say, but I wish it was a square or, a little bit of it more width to this lot, right? It's a little bit too long and narrow, and that's just a negative. You have to think, how could have this been better, right? It would have been better if it had a more proportional dimensions to it. Now, the second thing I don't like about this property is the fact that this property is on top of a hill and it backs up to Coldwater Canyon, meaning on this side of the property, you can probably hear Coldwater Canyon traffic, and that is an annoyance to the property. Now, there's a lot of square footage on the other side. I think the house could block it, but as you enter the property, you could possibly hear that noise, and that is a negative. Now, before I tell you what I absolutely don't like about this property, there are 2 ways I would have marketed this property differently, which I will give you guys as a bonus right after this, okay? Now, the number 1 thing I don't like about this property is these trees. Look, this is very, very tricky. You really need to do your due diligence if you're serious about this property, because these trees block the view. The view could be as good as downtown LA to all the way to the ocean, but the downtown LA view is a little bit, to say the least, crooked, right? It's to the side. And these trees could very much so block the view. So you have to really consider, can you take out these trees? Can you move them somewhere else? What can this be done? Are they protected or not, right? Because you can't call it a downtown LA view if you have to walk all the way to the edge of the property to turn your head and see downtown. That doesn't count, right? You got to be able to see downtown from the living room, and that really matters how much you should pay for this property. Now, here's the listing agent's information. Give them a call. If you want to know how much I think this property is worth so you don't overpay, here's my information. You can contact me at arvin@arvinhedot.com. Now, let me tell you 2 things I would have done differently to market this property. I think they've done a fantastic job. I think their renderings are amazing. I think it's very, very well positioned. However, I would never have used number 1 photo as my primary photo, and I'll tell you why. Because this house is a goner, right? And this ugly roof doesn't do anyone good. I would have taken a bird eye view all the way from the top, right? and re-edited all this house and put grass instead of it so people would see how much flat land they're getting on top of a promontory, right? Or for the first thumbnail photo, I would have used one of these beautifully rendered architectural drawings, but reimposed it in its current setting. Right now, it looks like it's in Oregon National Park. It should look like as if it's already built there, right? For people to see and visualize how their product could end up looking in the future, I think that would have been a way, way better photo. Now, you can tell me in the comments below how you would have marketed this property differently, or how much you think it's gonna end up selling for, right? Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.